And with me today, I have the fabulous Rocío and Angel, who are the visionary co-founders of For the Highest Good, a conscious media company on a mission to inspire personal transformation and authentic leadership. With deep roots in global media, sales, and corporate leadership, and a passion for personal growth, they've joined forces to create the Orchid, the Secret Code of Modern Goddesses, a soulful guide to reclaiming inner power, balance, and purpose. Rossdale's a dynamic journey from Mexico City to Miami, London, and Hong Kong, and Angel's global leadership role across more than 65 countries inform their powerful message. When you align your inner being, your outer world flows. Together, they're helping others break free from outdated beliefs, rewrite their stories, and lead lives rooted in harmony, purpose, and impact. So, welcome to the show. It's such an honor to have you both here.
Thank you so much. Really is a pleasure, Ano.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you for the space.
Amazing. It's the first time I've ever had a duo guest. So you're the first. And
Woo, woo, woo. Thank you.
and I'm really excited for today. And I just want to again, start off with great gratitude for the book that you have posted out to me. It was such an honor to receive that, and it's such a beautiful book. And I will be adding in the link for all of my viewers and listeners to be able to purchase the book as well. So please do go ahead, everyone. It's going to be an inspiring read for you all. So, on that note, I would love to understand more about what inspired you both to write the amazing book, The Orchid. Orchid.
The orchid.
Orchid, yeah. And how did your own healing journeys influence the book?
Thank you so much. Let me try to be the most quick possible. You are in front of somebody, myself, who always saw the glass empty. And then I married Angel, and he was always the glass full. And at one point through our marriage, I was always asking him how you can do it. How is that you are so positive after all the things that happened to you? And he didn't have the words to tell me, really. So at one point, something happened for me that my glass empty was broken and totally like how do you forgive? So I begin to ask people, how do you forgive? How do you forgive? And after searching and searching, finally I begin to experience forgiveness. And when I experience forgiveness for all the things that happened that we're going to talk more about later, I come to Angel and say, number one, I understand you for first time, your vision of be so positive. And number two, we need to share this to the world. So was really incredible.
You know, Anu, when we first met and we were living together just prior to getting married, Rocío one day got up and said, I'm happy today. And I couldn't understand that. It was like, what are you talking about? Are you not happy all the time? And she said, no, I'm happy today. And so, fast forward 25 years, and when she came forward and said, I understand happiness now because I'm happy all the time. And now I have moments of sadness. It was just mind blowing to understand how the brain works, how emotions and thoughts and fear can control somebody. I wasn't like that, even though I had experienced many things, poverty, sexual abuse, abandonment from a father, etc. Yet I found refuge in wisdom, even though I didn't know. And in the process of us diving into a more spiritual practice, spiritual existence, she understood, became more aware, and also developed language. And as she did, I also developed language because I was observing her a lot, and she served as inspiration for my own growth and development. And later I joined her in that process. And so that's how it led to us becoming and feeling better about ourselves. And as we were seeing that improvement, that's when the time came and she got up one day and said, "We need to share this. We need to share this with the world." And she said, "Let's do it with a television show." And I said, "Well, before we do the TV show, we need to do it with a story." And so that's how the book gets started.
Wow, what a journey, an absolute journey. So tell us more about the healing that you both may have had to go through, especially after suffering such tragic trauma.
Look, I grew up in a place, in a household that trauma was present all the time. So my father hit my mother and hit us and all myself, my brothers and sister. And at one point he was a womanizer. But then my mom, she fell in a depression because we experienced an earthquake in Mexico and she lost everything. So she was a single mom with 4 kids. So after a lot of sadness, she was finally to move barely to survive. She didn't have any life, anything. So I was working since I was, I don't know, very young because we were helping her, right? But she was not able to really let go anything of the sadness, of the trauma. So my way of thinking was like that. But at one point, I saw how this sadness killed her. So from there, from her to die, then I begin to experience very difficult time in my life because she died when I was 20. And I received sexual abuse and fights with persons, with relationships, and all that I was carrying, and I didn't know how to let go. But little by little, I was like, I'm gonna change. It's like you begin to follow the crumbs that the universe is let you there for you to follow your own instinct of survival. So finally at 28, can tell you, I feel myself, but took me until 50 to really become my best friend. And that's why we put in the book this beautiful story because it's a novel that the characters go and they transform. But I don't gonna enter into the book yet. So that's why when I begin to experience myself and I found that the answers are not outside, it's only inside because from outside I was very successful and I was living in all these places like Miami, Hong Kong, you see London, wow, and then LA, but still inside of me I was carrying this sadness and this chain to myself. You see, I was a change to the all me. Finally, when I understand that my limiting beliefs, how to train my mind, how to connect with my heart, all these little things, then I free myself for my past, for the way I was thinking. And really, the most important part was in my body, I was storing like a storage all the pain. So every time that I was thinking of something, I was feeling the pain like something there, like I was. And when I discovered that you can really see the problem and transform, I was in a journey, Anu, to really work to remove all the the energy, the pain who was inside of me. So was fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, goodness, yeah. I can totally relate to that. Absolutely. And it's interesting, when you said that, externally, you were very successful and everybody saw that, whereas deep down inside you were sad. And, you know, I see this amongst many, many people. It's tragic. Yeah. Like,
I know. And we have learned to live with this.
mm,
Well, society trains us to do,
yeah.
right? You'll always be doing something. Do. If you're not doing, you are not productive, you're not valuable. And perhaps through maturity and age, you begin to realize that being is as important, and then at some point, more important than doing. And our goal is now is to try to mix the two, do, but be, right? And I think it's the absence of that being whatever that is, but often is be love, be kind, be gentle, be empathetic. All of these qualities, when we leave them out, they make us robots. They turn us into, very sadistic, difficult, hard, adamant people who are largely unhappy,
Disconnection.
disconnected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, disconnection for ourselves. Finally, when I was able to connect with myself, was like, wow, I'm really nice. So I was for first time my best friend.
Mm,
And no one spoke to me the way I speak to me was horrible. And now I don't do it. And wow, it's really a transformation incredible.
yeah. Wow. Congratulations. And I see that. I see that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How about for yourself, Rosea? Was it a similar journey,
Um, Angel.
Angel?
No worries. Um, Yeah, look, I carry with me a lot of wisdom, and I know that because I would repeat again and again different sayings throughout my life, and I would live by them, right? And I could feel the wisdom of God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. But I would like live by that, and I would say it out loud whenever an instance presented itself in which I had to make a decision or act in that manner. But she would ask me the why behind it, and I couldn't answer.
Was horrible, Anu, to see somebody so happy all the time and you here suffering, like, wow, how he's doing it. And he really was authentic, but he didn't know how to say, how to explain. And now we can explain it.
Yes.
We can say exactly how to do it. And that's the most exciting thing.
But what really did help was one, I was going through these tools and these experiences at the time, because for me, she would ask me, even as we were going and doing our spiritual psychology master, she was asking me, so what do you feel? And I couldn't,
Oh,
either because these feelings and emotions were numb,
yeah.
or simply I was so already into just that side of me that I couldn't get in touch with them. So the way this all started is as she started experiencing these changes, she was very, very vocal about them. She could feel where her pain was. She could feel energy moving. She would cry it. There were moments in which all I was doing was observing her as she was going through some form of energetic process and transition.
Mm,
As I did that, it was almost as if that's the key I needed to make the change in my life, because all of a sudden, that little nuggets of wisdom that I carried opened up even more. And I made connections between them. And it's when I'm like, I understand it now, like, but not conceptually, like in my heart and in my body. And so that led us to a process of then digging further. I came in contact with my inner child, right? I remember the first meditation in which I was trying to get in touch with that inner child, and all I could see was a little boy like this, hands crossed and just angry. Fast forward a year or two, and all of a sudden, in a different meditation, that boy was running towards me, sort of throwing himself and opening arms. So transformations like that. But again, we did a lot of work, and we found tools that we didn't realize, even though we hear them, right? Everybody hears about journaling, everyone. But sometimes it becomes such a superficial thing where you don't really realize the depth of it. But we experienced classes in which an intention was done in the beginning of that class. We called God, the universe, spirit to accompany us in a journey of journaling. And we started to really have some deep, deep sessions of cleansing, of letting go, of forgiveness, of gratitude. And so all of these tools, little by little, started peeling the layers of that onion. And, she had a lot more layers, I would say, or maybe they were thicker. The layers are the same, but they were thicker.
Was really a lot of things that I was accumulate. So when you have things accumulate, it's like you crystallize that energy in your body.
Right.
And through sound, breathe, and really help you to release that crystallized energy that you feel that feels like a pain.
And we started going down that journey, and we tried. It was interesting because it's like Rocío is the scout. She goes out and tries things. So she would go and try breath and sound, right? And all of a sudden she would come back and she's like, you have no idea how powerful this is. So she would get myself and our two teen daughters to then accompany her and do it with her.
One second. Anu, remember, at this point, I grew up in Mexico. So I didn't know many things. I was really, really
Sheltered.
sheltered myself, sheltered about the world. But then I moved to Miami, and then I learned what was United States and then Latin America. And when we moved to Hong Kong, I began to learn Asia, and we traveled all over to everywhere. Japan, India, Bhutan, Nepal, Myanmar, like a lot of places. So you begin to experience another way of thinking, and it's like okay, how they do it. And so everyone begins to think in a different way. We are the same. Is the seed is the same. So I begin to really open my mind and my heart to other traditions, and that was a key, curiosity. So if your listeners needs to take something today, well, they need to take a suggestion is that they take as much as possible.
But
Curiosity is one of them.
Beautiful.
And that led us down the path of really just wanting to experience more. And the more we experienced, the more the puzzle became clearer. And I evolved, right? The picture of me starts to appear, and you're like, there's a hole here. I need to find that piece. There's another hole there. I need to find that piece. I want to complete the puzzle.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that. And so, when you think about how trauma affects us, how, like in your own words, how does it actually interrupt our connection to our inner well-being?
Sure. Thanks for the question. And I know it's a very real one for many people out there. Trauma does a number of things. first, it distracts you. It distracts you from who you really are. All of a sudden, you become the pain, you become the experience, you become the bad relationship, the happening, right? And those are things that happen to you. More than that, there are things that happened in the past. And what I've seen and realized is that often we're still in that scene and we haven't removed ourselves from it. And sometimes something as simple as saying, yes, that happened to me in the past, but it's not happening to me now. That's separation. In fact, there's something really wonderful in that. We have, because of life, have come across a lot of people from Rwanda. And if you ask people in Rwanda about the genocide, their answer often is, yes, that is part of my history, but it's not going to define my future.
Brilliant.
And I think that's what trauma does. Trauma first stores energy, as Rocío said, depending on who you are. Most of us, it happens, but some of us feel it more profoundly. And then it disconnects you. And the journey away from it, the journey to discover yourself, is the journey towards realizing that you are love, that you are perfect, that you are not the things that you did or happened to you. You are, and this is something we discuss in our book and something that we learned. And the day that I felt this, and it was towards the end of the 2 years in my spiritual psychology class. We are spiritual beings having human experiences, not human beings having a spiritual experience. The moment you turn that around and you realize, I am perfect, then you can make that separation from the trauma. And then you can look at the trauma for what it is and then apply the tools towards healing it. That separation is critical.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, amazing. And I know you've mentioned a few of the ways that you were able to heal, through journaling and meditations. So how can somebody who may be listening right now, how can they actually start to reconnect with their inner self if they have actually undergone some trauma or emotional pain?
Well, I'm gonna recommend our book, our novel, because at the end, the beautiful thing about the novel is that it's a safe space. Look, this is the story. A woman goes around the world to see all the different modalities that are there. Why? Because she was in a search. She was with suffering. So in the moment that she goes and find herself, she did the most amazing spa that ever anyone can dream of. And she invite every week 30 women to go there. So the story begins after 30 women, 20 years after these women, they gonna come and they gonna go to this place and they gonna learn 5 important lessons: awareness, gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance, and intention. So the characters of the novel, they have really profound problems. One is, you want to say it?
We have 5 women that we follow in these group of 30. One was sexually abused at 16. She's a model, has not recovered from it. And even though she's in a loving relationship with a man right now and has children, she's still suffering from that abuse that she has not been able to let go of. There is a woman who has not come forth about her gender and her sexuality. And she hasn't even told her parents at 30 years old. And so she is in a struggle between being real and being real to different people at different times and saying that she's different things. And we've all been there. right? We all lie about who we are to someone and for the fear of retribution, of being disliked, and so on. There's a woman who's at the height of her career and cannot see the success for what it is. Instead, only looks at the limitations, the failures, the things that she did wrong around it. There's a woman who's divorced, has been for 5 years, has two beautiful children, but has let herself go. And she is unaware that she's pretty much destroying her life by not putting herself first. And lastly, there's a woman who's simply angry. She's angry at the world, but that anger has served her well because it's helped her survive. But in the process of that, she's had to let go of her morality. She's put aside her feelings, her empathy towards people. And these five women all go there because they've reached an ultimatum in their lives. And a friend said, "You need help. We suggest you go here." And so that's how they all apply and come to this wonderful spa. And there they learn these 5 lessons across a week. So it's like a spa retreat, unlike, not unlike any of the many that I'm sure many people either go or hear about. But we wanted to tell it as a novel so that it wasn't, when you hear self-help, immediately many people put up a sort of a bar, a fence, a wall. And what we wanted to do is tell the stories of other people. And through their stories, 10% of the story is what happened to them. 90% of the story is the tools and the lessons that they're going to learn there in order to get out of where they are right now. And that's the novel.
So we put there in the novel so many tools for people to take with them. So you have really a profound chapter about limiting beliefs. Then about energy and what happened with you about when you are in survival and when you change yourself to curiosity. So things begin to move in a different way. But when you arrive to gratitude, oh my God, things move in another direction. So we talk about how important is to be grateful, but a profound connection with this. Then how do you forgive? Just we begin this talk about that was my search, and people they didn't know that at one point really forgive is one of the key things to really let go about what was holding you back to create what is coming. So imagine when you are reading the book, you are beginning to understand these concepts in a very simple way. So we recommend to all your listeners to really read or listen the book because we did it in audiobook too.
Perfect. Yeah.
With a professional. So they can listen the meditations. It's like you are giving to yourself 7 days in an amazing spa. So we want to invite your listeners, all their souls, to go and take care of themselves with like a lot of love, really, no judgment at all.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wow. And so I know that you've also spoken about forgiveness. What role does forgiveness towards ourselves and others play in true healing?
Look, I'm going to go back to the book for a second. The book, I look at it in a sort of 3 stages. First, the awareness. You have to become aware. You have to realize that is the one thing that's holding me back. And you do that through exercises, you do that through meditation, journaling. When you do that with an intention, any of those, and I'm sure many others, sometimes to some people we've heard is as they're running a marathon, and all of a sudden it becomes clear in their head what has been the thing that's been holding them back. So that awareness can come through many places. Dancing, some people dance, and it's in the dancing that they become they become passionate about themselves and that feeling. So awareness is key. And then the next one, the next stage is to recover that energy back, right? And this is where how I want to answer your question. Forgiveness, the way I see it now, is us carrying loads, just bags of things that I'm never going to forgive that because, he or she was whatever, or that situation. So we're carrying all these things and we're constantly, as one would when one is carrying a heavy load, you're expending your energy on that. And so that is not, so what does that do? Well, that's taking energy away from your dreams, from the things that you want to accomplish, from your present, from being happy now. So forgiveness, yes, it's about letting go of things, but really, as you let go, is about recuperating your energy. Forgiveness is about you claiming all that energy that you've been leaving behind in that trail of experiences and thoughts and sad moments and misfortune. But the moment that you do, all of a sudden you start feeling like you have a little bit more for here and now. And so that's, for me, is one of the most clearer ways to explain forgiveness because many times we don't forgive because we think we're doing it as a favor to someone else. And we think they're the ones that are going to benefit. The truth is, they don't even have to know.
Yeah.
You will benefit 1,000% when you let go of things because all of a sudden you reclaim your power. That's what forgiveness is about. It's about reclaiming what's yours and you've been just sort of given away unconsciously many times.
Very true. Yeah, I love that. So forgiveness is about reclaiming your own power. What a
Yeah.
fantastic way of seeing it. Thank you.
Wait until you read the book, Anu.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm really excited. Thank you so much. And I just think it's such a fantastic way to actually write a book, to make it fictional and also base it on, many different life journeys because everything that you've described in terms of the different women, there's I think it describes so many of us right now.
Yes, yes, believe me, what we has been, the feedback that we've been having is, oh my God, was a band-aid for my soul. Oh, I was not only one, I was a little bit of everyone. And that helped me to understand better that all the garbage that I put in that drawer that I don't want to see, I discovered that is not there anymore. So I was able to see the draw and remove the importance. So what people has been gained is freedom.
Yeah.
We cry every day
Yes,
from people sending messages
of
such as
love.
that, or reading a new post on social media or whichever the platform in which the person posted. Because what really is happening is that what the book has created is this container of love.
Mm.
Often, one of the biggest issues why we don't come forth, why we don't deal with our trauma is the fear of judgment,
Yeah.
right? And in this place,
And we don't know how to. We don't know how to begin. Believe me, Anu, this is the book that I wish I have in my darkest moment. And that's why we did it.
yeah.
And then I wish my mom had the book so I was able to have a conversation with her, you see? And for her to don't die, only to learn how to let go. So now that's is what the book is creating. I see all my friends who they really have been changing their lives. It's like you know, I feel better. I am different. So,
And we're finding that people who read it, mostly women, but not exclusively, by the way, for those listeners out there who say, but I'm not a woman. And so will I relate to this? At the end of the day, awareness, gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance, and intention are human, right? And when you address them, when you deal them, and you really look at them not just as lessons, but as powers, the power of awareness, right? When you are aware of everything around you, you become superhuman in a way.
True.
When you're grateful, there's an energy inside of you that shifts. We've tried it many times. The moment that I become angry at something, um, I go to Rocío and said, I need to go and do forgiveness. I need to get rid of this. Yes, accept the energy, accept I'm angry, I'm sad, whatever. But the forgiveness kind of just cleanses. It's like this cleansing water that pushes everything through. The forgiveness already spoken about, but really is about letting go and reclaiming power. And acceptance, it's like a master kung fu artist, right? That when you accept everything is you flow like water, like clouds, and nothing bothers you. And all of a sudden you understand that your life can be that simple. I am not going to be bothered by those things, right? And lastly, intention. Intention is so powerful. It's when I am thoughtful about everything that I do in my life. For me, for us, I know it's true for both of us, intention became absolutely clear when we became integral in what we thought, what we said, what we felt, and how we acted. The moment that you have integrity in those 4 points, you begin to claim that power. It's almost like it's a fuel cell and it's full. And so that's what people are experimenting as they read the book in different ways. Everybody experiments it differently because we're all unique universes.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely beautiful. People have called the Orchid, the Secret Code of Modern Goddesses, a life manual that they will continue to read and again, again, and again in various times of their lives to remind themselves of the love within.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. And I absolutely love the name. So what does the orchid name mean to you?
To me, it's important that it's super important. The orchids has more than 30,000 different species and is all over the world. You can find them everyone. It's a plant and it's very resilient. Has every one of them has different forms and it's like a women. All of them are fantastic, beautiful. They are all over the world, right? Resilience, beautiful. And we find out that they have these.
A few of them have testicles,
Yeah. Yeah.
meaning the roots look like testicles. And in fact, the ancient Greeks called that orchis. And that's where the name of orchids come from.
So if you see what we are talking about is this beautiful feminine energy in combination with the masculinity energy. So is this Angel say it really well about how every person we can found inside of us, women and men, these energies.
The duality of feminine and masculine
Yes.
inside each of us.
Yes. So that's is part of the name, the orchid, worldwide, and is beautiful. And then the secret code of modern goddesses. Really, Anu, you, myself, Angel, we are the modern goddesses. Is how we can have a life full of no one is gonna come to save us. We need to save ourselves. And how we can have an experience of life that is the best version of myself that I want to be. It's not a competition. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Anyone needs to prove anything to me. So at the end, it's a free, more original world when I am in my fullest.
You know, we all have seen all these superhero movies, right? Yet somewhere in our circle, there's someone who just isn't bothered by the words or
Mm,
the nastiness or the haters, right? And you say, how do you do it? That's a modern goddess.
mm,
That's a superhero, right? Because somehow they've learned to separate that their value, their worth is independent of what anybody says, of what happens outside of them.
mm,
And so that's what we mean by that, that the moment that we become in tune with that power within us, you are no longer at the mercy of the world around you.
mm,
You don't have to go and shop to feel better because you can find the wellness within you by connecting with yourself or whatever it is, right? Sometimes it's drinking, sometimes it's vices that take us further down a path that we wish we had not gone down to. And that's okay. But remember, it's about coming back and getting in tune with yourself. And when you do that, all of a sudden, those things fall away. And what remains is this shield of superpowers. And that's how we now look at our lives with these,
mm.
5 lessons, if you will, and the experience of the orchid.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so tell us about your TV show.
Well, after we are in the process to develop the series, and please send us good energy because
Yes.
what we want, Anu, is to put out there more television. Then when you see it, you feel better about yourself,
Yeah.
you feel better about the world. Really, we can use our imagination to create so many incredible things. So to use that, that's why we create this beautiful book to for the readers to use their imagination of, I can go this to an amazing place. So imagine when we can do that with a TV show.
Because of our experience and background in entertainment and media around the world and observing the power. Once we were in Mongolia and we had driven on a 4x4 unpaved country roads for 5 hours.
For me, was the feeling that I was the most far away that I ever been. Okay?
And we get to this gert, right? A Mongolian tent. And we open up, we were going to stay there the night. And what we find? A television hooked up to an antenna. And
Jeez.
there, what could you see? Hollywood movies. And we said, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Oh,
That's the power of storytelling.
it
It
is.
goes far and wide. And our goal is to utilize storytelling to
Mm,
help people empower themselves. So that's the idea is that when you read something, when you watch something, we're also working right now on the Orchid play, theater play. So we're really excited about that as well. The
brilliant.
idea is that people experience these, not unlike Disney. When you go to a Disney event, a Disney movie, a Disney park,
Mm,
you lose yourself. You become a child again. It's
mm,
all of a sudden like all the pain and trauma goes away because you're present.
mm.
Now imagine if we could capture that same essence, but help people heal, and not just for one day, but by teaching them tools for the rest of their lives. And so that's the goal, that's the vision, and that's the intention behind what we're doing right now.
I love that. And we need more positive TV because oh my goodness, it just happened yesterday where it was just by the off chance a radio channel came on my car when I switched it on. It must have been my kids messing around beforehand. And it was just bad news after bad news after bad news. I just thought, oh my goodness, this is enough to drive people crazy. I had to switch it off.
Totally.
Yeah, off.
Totally, I agree with you. Right now, everyone is looking like this is not possible.
Yeah.
The world cannot be this, and really is making the people depressed. That's why we are here putting on our efforts.
Yeah.
Really, I know I was a normal person, but at one point I was seeing this and it's like, no, I need to do something about it.
Mm.
And all my fears and all my limitations, I put it outside and it's like, let's share with the world, let's do books, let's tell the stories, let's make change happen, and really became to empower your friends, the mothers of kids, of everyone. Is like we want a different world for ourselves and for our kids and families. It's like this cannot be it.
For some reason, Anu, we believe, and now the algorithms all believe it, and for a
Mm,
long time, the news media has believed it,
mm,
that fear and bad, sad, heavy news
mm.
is what keeps people glued and, in fact,
Engage.
engaged, right? However, and Rocio uses this example a lot, I'm going to repeat it. You know that movie Monsters, Inc.,
Yeah.
in which all of a sudden, by the beginning of the movie, it's all about scaring the kids at night, and that's what fills up the
That's the
energies,
energy.
the fuel, right? By the end of the movie, they've realized that laughter does that just the same. And
Wow.
so the invitation for human beings is that let's become very aware
Yeah.
that for a long time we've been fed these ideas that only a certain type of thing, fear, anger, and so on, sadness, is what really we need in order to be that engaged. But the truth is that we can change it.
Yeah.
We can let go of the fear. We can start looking at love, just these energies that we sometimes put aside because, oh, I don't want to show that, or I don't want to be vulnerable. I believe that we're making ourselves weak by
Yeah.
not engaging with that fully. In fact, those are superpowers.
Mm,
And going back to my own experience, if you ask me, why do you think did not and were not a victim of some of the things that happened to you?
mm,
I cried a lot
mm,
throughout my years. And I believe that was the cleansing mechanism, the tool that allowed me to shed and let go of things. And so when we embrace that, we really do become superhuman. And it's very helpful too.
yeah. Yeah. And I stand by that. Vulnerability is super strength. And there's not many people that can be vulnerable, especially, you see it online, and there's just so much ego and so many people seeking validation that to be vulnerable, it just seems like the total opposite to how they want to come across, which is why the world needs more people like you two.
And you.
Eh, Thank you so much
Thank you.
to do the work that you are doing, Anu.
Thank you.
This is so important.
Mm,
It's like we are connecting
mm,
and people are listening. It's so intelligent, really, because at the end they know. That's why I came here, because I was totally lost without knowing what to do. And then you have a clue. And then it's like something inside of you, you follow the clue.
mm,
And little by little, then you really, I was looking my friends, and then finally I saw somebody was really free. And then I discovered when you look to somebody or you listen to somebody that resonates with you, is because it's already inside of you. So
mm,
I was, so if I can see how amazing she is because I am that. And it's like, yeah,
mhm,
you are that. So believe me, Anu, I feel so positive and hopeful because in the past I was not able to talk to you
mm,
from LA or from Mexico, and now you are in London, we are in LA,
yeah,
and we are having this conversation that is gonna, for your listeners, to pull them up
mm,
where they need to be,
true.
and they gonna, this is incredible. So yes, it's a lot of noise,
Yeah.
but now than ever, we need to be super careful where we watch and what we consume, because our energy is precious.
Yeah, it's so precious. Oh, I love this. Thank you so much for your amazing insights. And so, where can my listeners connect with you and find out more about you?
Yes.
Thank you. The Orchid, The Secret Code of Modern Goddesses, is available in English and Spanish.
Wow.
Yes.
It's available in all major platforms, Amazon, Apple. You can hear it in Spotify Premium if you have it.
Brilliant.
And you can find us and find more information about us at theorchidbook.com. There you'll find we have a podcast, we have a book club. I mean, everything you need to know, it's there. And you can also write to us from there directly as well.
Oh, I love that. Absolutely love that. And
I
so,
know we wanna see really we want changes.
Yeah.
And if we do it together, it's easier.
it is.
And count with us for anything. So please reach out.
Oh, reach out, everybody. And so, if there's one last message that you'd like to leave with my listeners, what would that be?
Yes, yes, yes. We have something super special.
Yes.
Please close your eyes and listen this.
So I'm about to read the dedication of the book, and I think it quite summarizes and answers your question. To all who journey through these pages, may you be inspired to rewrite your own narrative and live a life of love, free of limitations, and enriched by the knowledge that you are powerful beyond belief.
That's powerful. That is. So many amazing insights. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love what you both symbolize. I just love the whole brand, that you've created with the orchid. And, I just think it's already big and it's going to go even bigger. I really do
I
see
thank
you making a global impact with this. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. No, really, we need to work.
Yeah.
So we
You're
are
like,
working.
No,
We're
it's really
working.
our privilege. And also, it's our privilege to connect with people like you, and who are
Yes,
already
doing.
voices and active throughout the world. Because really, this is, it's almost like if you get a visual, it's not about one satellite.
Mm,
It's about all the satellites that connect with each other and create a mesh, right? And so, positivity, it's something that needs to be done in connection with others. And so, we're really
mm.
thankful for this space, for you and all that you do, in also bringing forth the messages that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say collaboration is key. We can't make an impact alone. We have to work together. So
Yeah.
Yes,
It is
that's
it is
why.
about the oneness after all.
it is. Yeah, yeah, I love that.
Yes, so beautiful. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
And we are here to enjoy the party with you, really.
you. That's amazing. So yeah, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today, my beautiful listeners. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please do reach out to this fabulous duo, connect with them on their website and join their book club and email them. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And again, it's been an absolute honor. This has been such a spine tingling kind of episode. Some of the things you were saying have really hit home. And so I really do appreciate, the amazing insights that you've brought to this show. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everybody. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you all in the next show. Take care, my friends.